What is good, everyone, and welcome back to the Nostalgia with Social podcast. My name is Taylor, aka Nostalgia. Joining me is As Told by Zoe. What's good, my guy?
Hello!
Also joining me is Kay Likes Everything. Welcome back. How you doing?
Hello! I'm so happy to be back. I don't know why in my head I heard the "Thank you, Chad." But it's like a truck. That's what I wanted to do. Just plays the sound of a truck honking. Happy to be back.
For sure. So Kayla was not with us last week, and so when we did Spirited Away, and before we started recording, you did say that Spirited Away is your definitive top one Ghibli movie, Miyazaki movie of all time. I know it's funny that you didn't really listen to our episode last week, because we definitely talked about where Spirited Away sits in the landscape of like the Miyazaki rankings, and like, you know how it's like the definitive Miyazaki movie, or Ghibli movie specifically.
I heard you guys saying it deserved it.
Yeah.
Because of what it did.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think that clip had what I said should be the big three.
What should be the big three? Princess Mononoke, I know.
I said
one of them.
The Wind Rises, Spirited Away, and Mononoke.
Okay.
And that Howl's Moving Castle isn't even top 4 or 5.
That's not my life.
That's the everyone. That's everyone.
That's not my journey, King, you know? But that's good for you. Howl's Moving Castle will always be in my top 5, top 3, probably at number 3.
It is the big 3.
Yeah, I think that my big 3 is
Pisses me off.
Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle.
Pissing me off.
I mean, I guess in the
you just don't
vein
like
of
birds.
like,
that's gonna suck for this episode.
Wait till we talk about this episode, because my mind has changed.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. So with Spirited Away, Kayla, do you have any words to say? Like, any thoughts that you might want to add to our previous episode on Spirited Away?
So besides being my top 4 Studio Ghibli movies, it's in my top 4 movies, like, on Letterboxd. Like, this movie definitively changed the way that I felt about, like, animation, because I felt like forever I was like, oh, animation is just for kids, but which was fine, because like I was a kid at the time. But I feel like Spirited Away has so many layers of very emotional, strong values, especially as like a girl growing up, that, I don't know, it's just such a good movie. And it's why I made this like one hashtag on Letterboxd that's called movies that feel like magic, because when I watch that movie, I am transported, and I do feel like there's something there that I'm tapping into that I don't get with other movies in general, and other Studio Ghibli movies. Like, you know, Porco Rosso, it's a good movie. I don't feel magical in it, you know what I mean? Like, and some Studio Ghibli movies don't do that. Like, they don't like tap in, even if they're in magical worlds. Like, what's not Nausicaa? It's a magical movie. I don't feel that same like level of magic in it. So, I think names have power. I think that our stories and our history makes us who we are, and I think Chihiro does a great job of just like figuring that out in her little
power.
Names have power.
That was hard.
So yeah, I love that movie forever.
So with that being said, we covered like the Miyazaki movie, and now we're gonna get into the most recent one. So I'll intro it for you guys. Welcome to part 10 of Miyazaki Magic, and today we're talking about E minor. And today we're talking about The Boy and the Heron. Golden Globe and Oscar winner in 2024. A movie that I just watched it this morning. So I have a bad habit of just watching all these movies like the day of.
Never again for me. Never again.
After The Wind Rises, you're scarred for life.
Never
honestly.
Again.
It helps. It's fresh.
For me, yes. I feel like with a movie like The Wind Rises, or like if we were to do Grave of the Fireflies and then come right into recording, absolutely not.
We should
though, but
Kill me.
Okay, are we back?
Are we back?
Yeah. I'm just gonna mute when I munch. Minecraft sponsor me.
So we're back. But yeah, so where we talking? Oh yeah, this is part 10 of Miyazaki Magic. Today we're talking about Boy and the Heron.
Heron. Heron.
Boy and the Heron, however you say it. So, we've done this a plethora of times in terms of like overall thoughts. And so you said you had a different opinion about this movie on second time around watching it. So like, what were your initial thoughts second time around or first time around, however you want to do it?
No, the first time I ever saw this, it really resonated with me. And it's not that I have a different opinion of this movie. It's that when we started this, I had seen Mononoke for the first time. And it wowed me because I just didn't know what that movie was about. It's from the 90s, but the animation still looks so good. This might be number 3 for me. Mononoke being a very close fourth. Specifically because this movie feels so... I think I said it in my Letterboxd review when I first saw it. So personal. And I love movies like that. Kayla saw... Sorry Baby yesterday, which is a new movie, a directorial debut for the main actor in the movie. They wrote, directed, and starred in the movie. It's their debut, and it's fucking phenomenal.
I was about to say, like, what a phenomenal job.
They killed movie is insanely personal to them.
Yep.
So that's why I really like it. This one is really personal to Miyazaki, and it's just on a different level, where as Ava Victor with Sorry Baby is kind of the start of a magnificent career, The Boy and the Heron for Miyazaki is almost like his story's ending.
It's a wave goodbye is what it feels like.
Yes. And because Mahito loses his mother, and so did Miyazaki. Miyazaki lost his mother at a young age. The Heron represents the producer of this film and their relationship. The granduncle represents another collaborator who passed away in 2018. Everything is connected to Miyazaki's own life. And that's why it just feels, for me, the magnitude of this movie is so great. Not only that, this might be my favorite Joe Hisaishi soundtrack. I love how deep and dark it can get, contrasted to the light piano pieces when everything's all colorful and dandy and like towards the end of the movie.
I was gonna say the music in this one has a lot of dark themes, which I don't gear towards typically. So this isn't one of my favorites, but it is very well done.
Like when they first get into the tower, that fucking stab, dun, 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 I'm like, it's so good.
Yeah.
And it just tackles a lot. It tackles with the loss of a loved one, but it also tackles with the keeping of your own art and not wanting to let people touch it, or also the older generation passing down the world to the younger generation and try and like thinking like, oh, here's what I gave you, you fix it. But the younger generation going, I'm not touching that. No, I'm doing my own thing. Like,
that's a very big part of the movie.
Yes,
the you fix what I got.
It's so much, and I think, and in English, the voice cast is so fucking good. Oh, Christian Bale is back, and they made him a goof.
They killed it. Because you know
Dave, I know. Dave Bautista as the King Parakeet.
Yep.
Awesome.
Robert Pattinson. Can we just talk about Robert Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson did a phenomenal job. Burn it up. He decided to walk into that studio and go, I'm gonna pull the craziest things you've ever seen. And you guys are going to enjoy it. And I thoroughly.
That man loves doing a little voice, because I think it was like 2 years before he did The Devil All the Time, and it takes place in the South, and everyone in that movie is basically European, so everyone has a dialect coach, and Robert Pattinson said, I don't want one, and just went into the movie as a Southern pastor talking like this. Dude, it's so fucking good.
I think in any role that he does that he has to have a different accent, he just does what he wants.
Yes.
There was one movie that Sam was watching the other day. Not the other day, this was months ago, but I remember it vividly because I was like, what accent is Robert doing? And it was with Timothée Chalamet being like a knight of some sort.
Oh, the king.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was like, what is Robert doing? But what a fun little voice it is.
And he's going to play Hermes in Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, and I cannot wait to see what little voice he does.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure.
Just a little freaky man.
But him as the Grey Heron is so. I think he just turned like the whimsy meter all the way up for this role, and like, because obviously he has that standard really raspy, like haunting kind of voice when it comes to like the early lines the Heron gives to Mahito and how he's talking to him, and even when they first get to like the tower and like he's trying to be like really menacing and stuff like that, but then like a little bit later, I think there's like one line. I think you mentioned it like a different episode.
It is my favorite fucking line delivery. Yeah. When Mahito plugs the hole in his beak, and then he gets to turn back into the Heron, he goes, "I'm fabulous."
He must have had so much fun.
That's what I'm saying. He had to have so much fun in the studio doing that, because it's just like, it's funny. Like if you were to not tell somebody that Robert Pattinson was his role, they wouldn't like.
I would have never known.
Yeah.
No, and that's, I love when voice actors do that, because like when you voice a character, you slip through a little bit, right? Like when Jack Black did Bowser, you're like, oh, I wouldn't have guessed at first glance, but I can hear him. I can hear Jack in the back. But Robert, I would have had not one clue.
Yeah. And it's such an interesting performance because, like you said, in the beginning of the movie, he is kind of like a semi-antagonist, and his raspy voice is much slower and deeper and menacing, like Mahito. And then towards the end, when he's a friend, it's still raspy, but like there's a line where Mahito goes, "I'm going back to the real world where I can see my friends like Lady Hime and the Heron Man," and he goes, "Me?" Like it's a little higher.
It's a lot. It's a lot warmer. Yeah. A lot more like, obviously, it's a lot warmer and a lot more like cordial.
Yeah.
Because like he's trying to be like menacing, and I do want to kind of get into like the overall themes of this, and this kind of goes in my own original thoughts, because I think that the overarching theme of grief and loss is like just everywhere in this movie, and I think that the Heron in the beginning, obviously, like he's supposed to be a metaphor for the producer on like, or whoever Miyazaki was working with at the time, but I think the early interactions between Mahito and the Heron is like the persistence of grief.
I like that cry coming in the back of the throat.
That gnawing, like feeling behind you, like, hey, your loved one's gone. Like, hey, you can't reach out and talk to them anymore. Like that
I can
kind
show
of stuff.
You if you want, but then
you see what I'm saying?
her image fades or melts almost like a fleeting memory because Mahito lost her so young.
When Gray Heron like is showing up at the window at odd times, like trying to get Mahito's attention, and then somebody comes in the frame, or like he's just kind of standing out there just like watching him, or when he first flies in through like the hallway when Natsuko and Mahito first get to the house. It's like a situation where when I was watching, I'm like, that I kind of got it immediately, where I was like, he is a metaphor for the persistence and that gnawing back in your mind, a feeling of like grief, where it's like you lose somebody close to you, and you know there might be a situation where you want to tell them something like, oh my god, like I accomplished some kind of goal, let me go. Oh wait, that it's like that kind of like gnawing feeling. And so I think that's it. He plays a great role. Like Robert Pattinson again kills it. And like, you know, obviously the rest of the journey of Mahito is like coming to grips and accepting the feeling of grief and trying to move like past it or whatever. And so he does a great job with that. Yeah,
not moving past it per se, but more like walking with it, I feel, if that makes sense. Because Miyazaki in The Wind Rises, when he's always talking to us, like he's telling us very point blank period that he's an artist, and as an artist myself, art is our way of kind of rationalizing our feelings in the world. And that's why that line he says in The Wind Rises, where it's like you beat the crap out of an idea for like 10 years. And then after that, you kind of stop making new art. Like it's a self-soothing thing. And clearly Miyazaki he misses his mom. Like he misses what he had. So he just continues to use that same story in new ways and like keep breathing life into her when he creates something, even if what he's breathing into her is the fear that he has of forgetting her. And that's why all his movies talk to each other. And that's why The Boy and the Heron is so good, because it is supposedly going to be one of his last movies. I don't know if he has any others in the works, but if this was his last movie, I would be fine with it. I would miss him forever, his art and what he gives to the world, because he's so impactful. But if this was his way of saying goodbye, I don't know. I feel honored, blessed. Like it's such a good story, and it just, I think, wraps up his entire, what's the word? It's not anthology. Is it anthology?
Filmography.
Filmography. It wraps it up in a nice birdie bow. I want to hug him.
To go elaborate on what Taylor was saying with the grief coming back. Everything makes sense once you like, because again, this was my second time watching it, and like Natsuko was his aunt, his mom's sister. So as a kid, it's kind of like, it's hard because not only is it a new mom, and you know movies are always like, new mom, whatever, I don't like you, but this mom reminds him so much of his mom.
Yeah.
So it's not only the Heron is much more like the magical representation of it, but it's like Natsuko trying so hard to connect with him just reminds him of his mom. And like when Taylor says, whenever he does something good, he's making connection with one of the grannies or the old man. And then the Heron comes in. It's like, you can't make a connection. You can't forget about your mom.
Right.
And then there's that scene where they finally have a conversation by the pond, where he keeps telling him like, I can take you to go see your mother. And then Mahito's getting engulfed by all the frogs, and the frogs are saying, join us, come join us. That is very much a representation of like him almost kind of falling into his depression.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that's him trying to kill himself, but it's like getting eaten up by his depression.
But I also took it that way, like especially because the frogs first start off looking just like water and then just kind of transforming. I'm like, this kid's about to walk into the lake and drown himself. Because there is that gnawing feeling when someone's gone. You're like, how can I be happy when you're not here anymore? You know, because I'm experiencing these new things and I'm not able to tell you about it. I'm not gonna get this one very well. You guys keep sharing your opinion.
This movie's so fucking good. I'm telling you.
It's so good.
I'm telling you.
I think also too, like with the grief and loss, I think the acceptance of one's own mortality, I think, is another one that's big in this. Where like, obviously, like you go through this tower and you start to kind of realize that the doors that are like are different time periods, and like the lines get crossed between who's a human and who's crossed over, who's still here. They have this like idea of like the cycle of life with like the little what are they called, the Wawa something? The Wada Wadas. How they're like
patented Miyazaki little guy of the movie.
Little guy.
Yeah. The Wada Wadas.
They're like the four spirits in Mononoke. They're like the same kind of vibe. Like, because they're new souls going off to be like born. And then there's situations where like where Mahito meets his mom actually as a child. And where they have this like scene at the end of the movie where she goes like, you have to go back to your world so that way I can be your son. You could be my son or something like that. And he's like, but no, you're gonna die if I leave you now. You're gonna die in a fire. And she says something of like, fire doesn't scare me, essentially saying like death doesn't scare me.
Which is why she has the fire powers.
Right. Yes, why she has the fire powers. And I think that is like I feel like that's like the definitive line in this movie for me, where it's like, I'm fully aware that I'm alive currently and one day I will die, but it doesn't scare me. And I think that's a great like ending line to kind of like encapsulate everything about this movie.
It's her choice to go through something scary so that she can one day have the opportunity to meet her son. Right? Like, she didn't have to go back through that door, but then Mahito would have never been born. Everybody would have been at peace. No one would be sad. But she would have been missing out on that, that opportunity to really have her son with her.
Yeah.
Always reminds me of like Doctor Who. Like when we go into like dreamscapes, it's very much like the time isn't linear. It's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Or if you watched The Good Place, it's the Jeremy Bearimy. It's like time is like this, and I always think of like, because I've been rewatching Doctor Who as well. Those moments in dreamscape shows make me incredibly happy and incredibly sad at the same time, because I'm like, somewhere along time we keep revisiting that moment, so he gets to keep meeting his mom early and they get to keep having this connection, and that's kind of what I hold on to in this movie. But like, I think this dreamscape, the first time I saw The Boy and the Heron, I was like, whoa, maybe this is too out there. Like, I was like, it's still good, but I was like, I'm having a hard time grounding myself enough to experience the movie well enough. I think I was just like, overwhelmed. And then I saw it a second time, and then I was like, no one can touch this movie. No one can change it. It's perfect as is. Make it weirder, actually. Bring more birds to poop. Like, do what you have to do.
Can we just
it's the poopiest movie.
Side tangent. At the end of the movie, where Mahito, Kiriko, and Natsuko are all out, and the parakeets, the fucking cannibalistic parakeets,
I love them,
are like flying out, and like they're enjoying like the cool scenery. They're just getting shitted on and don't care. And I'm like, hello. Like,
so
I think,
do parakeets just shit a lot, or is it lore that they couldn't shit in the real world because they're bipedal now, so they don't know how to use the toilet?
I don't know why when you're like, or is it the lore? I could just hear the bite of 87. The crap of 87.
Do parakeets shit a lot?
I feel all birds poop a lot.
Not like that.
Yeah, but like, dude,
Not like that.
I'm just saying, like, I would feel some type of way. I wouldn't be able to have like some sort of like sentimental kind moment when a bird is literally shitting on my head and my body the entire time.
Hold on, because in a lot of cultures, being pooped on by a bird is good luck.
Have I told y'all the story of when I got pooped on by a bird?
No.
I was at the beach and I was talking to my friends and I was laying down and I shit you not, it hit my face.
Oh.
I choked on my coffee.
I had to go jump into the water.
Oh my god, my stomach churned. On your face?
On my face. I was laying down, like relaxing, having a great time. It didn't get into anything because I have quick reflexes. I was like,
it was like on the forehead or something, or like on like the cheek.
Just everywhere.
Oh god, that's insane.
That's not even the first time bird liquid hit me anywhere.
Oh my god.
Bird liquid is crazy.
Because when I was like 5, I took a picture. Me and my family, we go on a cruise. We go to Mexico, and we go to this place, and we take a picture with a bunch of birds, and they put a parrot on my head. And as soon as the flash went off, it threw up on me.
It threw up?
Yes.
Oh.
Poor bird.
Because it was purple. The
throw up was purple, or the bird was purple?
The throw up was purple. The bird was red.
Yeah, blueberries.
Oh god.
That's
nah. Kayla almost spitting up her entire.
I almost.
I
flew up. I flew up. That was nasty.
But okay, really, there are cultures that value getting shitted on by a bird. That's insane.
It's good luck.
I've heard it's good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, sorry, can't do it.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, I love Animal Kingdom, but whenever they do the bird show, which I love watching, I'm always like, there's a non-zero chance that I could get pooped on by a bird.
The chances
and that would really change the trajectory of my whole day.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I would turn that moment into like, well, I have to buy myself a new shirt.
Yeah, I was about to say, here's the thing. I got pooped on by a bird, but I had the water, the ocean right next to me.
Yeah.
Getting pooped on in a theme park, it ruined the whole trip. The entire 4 days that I'm at Disney, it ruined all 4 days.
Oh yeah, no, I'd be pissed the entire time.
Every day you'd be walking around with an umbrella. I got pooped down by a bird.
Yeah. Let it be day one. Everybody's having a bad
time. Oh my god.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off because but I just. Oh man, I didn't mean to cut you off because like I thought that was insane. I really wrote that in the notes I was taking for this movie. I was like, are they just willingly letting themselves get shit on? Like I can't.
The animators just thought it'd be a really fun time.
Yeah.
To like animate so much poop.
Another really funny moment for me was we all know Christian Bale as like a very serious actor.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne. I forgot his name in The Prestige.
I forgot, but yes. Well, I love that movie though.
He's very, very serious. And just to hear him, that moment where Mahito and his mom are like in their world for a second, but she's like, don't let go of the doorknob. Because if you let go, you won't be able to come back in.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad can't see the door. They open the door to get back in, and a bunch of parakeets come out. And then he goes, Mahito turned into a parakeet. And then loudly he goes, Mahito turned into a little budgie.
A budgie.
Oh man. But yeah, real quick, I want to kind of change gears a little bit and talk about like the animation cinematography of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like obviously since it is like the most modern of his movies, it's going to be probably the most visually like the best visually of his movies.
I don't know about all that.
But just because of like, okay, the scene of Mahito running through the crowd to get to,
I was about to say the opening
that was
scene.
very good. That's
the burning building was insane. Like the motion blur and like how like the way in which it looks more like a painting, like a blurry painting.
Yeah.
Moving through was awesome. I think that like because the vibe of this movie is supposed to be very unsettling because it deals with something very haunting, which is death, mortality, and grief, right? And so like you get scenes like that are awesome, and then you get scenes like when Natsuko and Mahito are in the house for the first time, and they walk down that hallway, and then it has this weird like long hallway shot of all the grannies in the circle acting weird as shit. I was like, yeah, that's like it's like stuff like that, or then like shots, long wide shots of like a character doing something but somebody behind them doing something. And so I think it's that like that overarching theme of like how haunting death can be is like one thing I think is like prevalent in this movie, and it's kind of shows up in like the animation style for this. So, but you're welcome to argue which one, which of his movies is visually better than this one. To me,
it's not that it's like better. I just think that some of his older movies accomplish so much with less tech that I'm equally as impressed. Like, I'm trying to think of like specific scenes, but it'll come to me later. But I think
obviously
that like
the Wind Rises with like that big crowd scene where they're trying to move and there's like a trillion people being animated at one time moving.
Right, like that's a big deal.
All the Ponyo underwater scenes, like
those are really pretty.
Yeah.
And those are all hand drawn.
Yeah.
I'm like pretty yeah. I think like just in general, like they really kill it when it comes to like animating every scene, and Miyazaki will be like, if it's not good, do it again. And he's like, do it again. But this one for sure was a big project. And that scene in the crowd of him like going through being very painterly, it kind of reminds me when like One Piece goes away from like having color, and then all of a sudden like when Luffy punches a celestial dragon, and all of a sudden it's like it's all drawing, it's all black and white,
impact frames,
frame by frame, and you're like, ooh, yes.
Yeah, it's weird because obviously the animation is nothing to scoff at. It's not bad,
no,
but it's just I hate saying this because I don't want to sound disappointed. It's just this. We've already watched 9 other movies of his, and like we expect it to look good, and it does look good. And which is why the opening scene is so impressive, because we already know this is gonna look good, and then they still find ways to like impress us.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously, I don't know if you expanded on it that much, Zoe, but like, what about like this Joe Hisaishi soundtrack performance is like makes it the best for you? Because for me, my favorite is probably like, I think The Wind Rises is definitely up there. I think Howl's Moving Castle might be it's the one that's the most catchy to me.
It's
Howl's
John
Moving,
T.
like the John
fun.
T like circus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Howl's
sound.
is really fun.
That's
Yes,
like
it's
might
very
be
fun.
my top 2.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's so catchy and it really works with the.
Did
the
Joe
vibe.
do Princess Mononoke?
Yeah, he's done all his
Okay. Okay. I just want to
their
be sure.
voice. For me, as someone who's very much like into filmmaking and everything that goes into filmmaking, it's really cool to see how much Joe Hisaishi has grown
over time.
since the 80s, because Nazca's in the 80s, and Nazca's soundtrack is really cool.
Yeah.
It's very much 80s dark fantasy sci-fi kind of, with a lot of synths, and this one feels like he's taken everything he's learned because for like you said, Howl's Moving Castle, he borrows from kind of circusy carnival music, very jaunty. For The Wind Rises, he borrows from Italian classical music. For Spirited Away, it's very much more Japanese folklore,
Shinto religion,
Shinto era.
Yeah.
This one, it doesn't sound like a genre.
It doesn't sound like anywhere in particular, which is nice, because it's like it doesn't matter where this kid is, he's suffering. Like,
but
it just feel that.
It just sounds like as if Joe Hisaishi was creating a suite instead of a soundtrack or score for a movie.
Ooh.
It takes you through. It's almost as if you can watch this movie by going to a Joe Hisaishi concert with no screen. It tells itself.
Okay.
With all the highs that this soundtrack has and all the dark lows, it takes you through all sorts of emotions.
Yeah.
It's very full, and I like it.
Yeah, and it's like I loved the sections where it's just like the piano playing. Because like, especially in those moments where like it's funny, like with like it'd be in moments where there's like some sort of a high-ish moment, but you just but in your mind when you hear this piano, you kind of can feel that like this high moment is immediately gonna follow up, like a bad moment is immediately following up. And so like it kind of gives you that, like I said, like this haunting, for as colorful and as vibrant as this movie is, and you would fully expect it, like especially when Maito goes to this like spirit world, like in between world, you would expect it to be this like very happy and like overly colorful and happy place. And much like how we talked about Alice in Wonderland with Spirited Away, it's the same vibe where he goes to this place and it's where it has all these amazing things to look at, and it looks like a paradise in a lot of aspects, but it's really a very scary situation, and you are risking your life wherever you are.
You know what?
Yeah, it's supposed to unsettle you.
Yeah. You know what this gives me more? Because we said like Spirited Away is a little bit more like Alice in Wonderland. Small girl, not really a lot of fighting. This one, because movie brain, so I have to relate everything to a movie. This one gives more Narnia. Specifically because Narnia plays with the fact of they grow old and they become the kings and queens of this nation, and then they go back and they're kids again. What?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this one is like, it plays with time, and it's like you go, whenever you leave, you go back to your time. This and like, and Narnia to me, because Alice in Wonderland, the Disney movie, it is kind of sinister, but it's more like hee hee haha little girl. The Narnia movies are like, there's a war and the lion is Jesus and we must fight. So this one feels like, to me, more like those old Narnia movies.
And like, to elaborate on that like scenario, when you talk about the granduncle, when he first gets introduced and he's just like standing on top of that tower and his voice is booming down, I was like, is he supposed to be like God? Like,
because he created that world.
Like, so I mean, in a sense, like, it's kind of it makes sense in that way. But talking about the tower specifically, I think it's like, a cool. I tried to do some research. I didn't see anything in terms of like overt inspirations for things, and I think that like us watching Spirited Away and then coming into this one kind of like already put us in the mind frame of like worlds separate from the human realm. And so like there are so many things, and one of the reasons why, I gave it a 4 on my Letterboxd review, and when I was writing my overall thoughts for the movie, I was like, for as much as I liked Miyazaki not explaining everything about this world, there were some things where I was like, can you please explain this? like specifically Natsuko's scene with like all like with the spin, like that, basically her in bed delivering the baby with like the spinning things around it. Like I needed to know, like, does every woman that's about to give birth do that? Do the warawaras come in? Do one of them come into the room and like come into the womb and like inhabit the womb and have the baby?
The room and the
what
womb.
Is the what is the ramifications and what is the transgression that Mahito really did by disrupting the ceremony? You see what I'm saying? They don't really explain that.
Right. I think it's not every woman. I think it's more just because that's the bloodline,
the bloodline of the
Tower Master.
Yeah.
And the Tower Master brought in the parakeets, so they're loyal to him. There's not much to obviously to me it's obvious that the paper, that is, I've seen that in like some anime, that is like a protection.
He's used it in Spirited Away.
Yes, that is like a protection, like, oh, we put this here to protect.
To seal.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's the word.
But like my thing is though, I was waiting for either the Parakeet King or the Granduncle to like explain why Mahito messing up that ceremony or ritual was this huge transgression that needed to be like accounted for.
I think it's because we're in Mahito's POV and he's not going to understand, so they're not telling us either. Like, I think we're supposed to not know, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We're there. Now, Taylor, I have a question for you. How did you feel about this movie in particular? Because I feel the action starts really early. It's not the last 20 minutes. Like, yes, there's a crescendo in like the last 20 minutes, but I feel like you get action and like a lot of movement very early on. There is still storytelling, but I feel like this one would have gotten you more, because you get a way about action happening in the last 20 minutes.
And I think the pacing of this movie was great. I think there's always something happening that benefits the plot or is moving in some specific way up until that last section too. And even when like some type of plot happens with 15 minutes left in the movie, I think it's like when the Granduncle is trying to like tell Mahito to be his successor, and talks about like the blocks and how like they basically, stacking them once every 3 days like fixes the world, and like the Parakeet King cutting through it, what I'm saying, at the very end to like destroy the that realm or whatever. Like I think that everything that happened up until that point made sense and served that plot to that very end. So I think like the pacing was great. And like you said, there's a lot of action happens early. And I think that it was a situation where when I was watching it, it wasn't like it didn't feel like I was front loaded with it. It felt like everything that was happening was like for a reason. It wasn't just like action or like crazy stuff happening just for the sake of crazy stuff happening.
Yes.
And like one of my favorite early parts of the movie is when Mahito, like the montage of Mahito building his own bow and arrow. And while like you kind of like at first you're like, I mean, why he could just go build one, he could just go grab one himself because Natsuko has one, right? He could just go build one himself. But like I just think that it kind of shows off Mahito as a character, like how he, like, what I'm saying, like wants to protect his home, and how his current feelings of grief, where it kind of makes him lash out and be a little more violent than he's probably more prone to. So yeah, I think it's just like a very well paced like movie overall in general. So
okay.
Yeah, no.
I was like, I think he's gonna like this one.
Yeah, I think it's like it's either like the order in which we watched it, or Miyazaki just getting way better with each movie that he makes. But like the last few ones that we did watch,
same thing with Spirited Away. Yeah,
Spirited Away was well paced as well.
Spirited Away starts like oh, we're moving away, we're dealing with a lot of like emotional issues because your parents are kind of leaving you to die emotionally, and this is the first time you've ever experienced this heartache, and you're a little girl, so how are you supposed to handle that in the whole wide world? And then it goes, your parents are pigs now, and you don't have a name, and you have a full-time job, and you're a little girl, and you're like, oh, okay, there's a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
This one does the same. It's like,
your
mom's sick, she's dead, you have a new one, there's a tower, there's a bird, you're in.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, it just, and everything that it's not just situations. It's, granted, some Miyazaki movies are more suited for like children, like young children. So those long, like, sections of movie where like nothing's happening, it's just like the characters living, like,
unless it's made to unsettle you.
Yes.
Which I think he does a lot.
Like, basically reflecting on, since we've done this 10 times now, right? It's the 10th time we're doing it. Reflecting now on all the movies, like up until Boy and the Heron, right? Like, we've mentioned this before, like you can tell which ones are like for kids and which ones are a little more like adult in their theming and framing and things of that nature. And so when the ones that are a little more adult in their theming and whatever tend to be the ones that are a little bit better paced, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, the other ones where it's like the story, like Kiki's Delivery Service.
Right.
Like, I love that movie.
Yeah.
But I think that was one of the issues I had was like the plot kind of happened with 20 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's really more so just like that's like a kid movie because there are long periods of that movie where it's like it's just Kiki living.
Yeah. And
she's
she's
kind of going
with,
about
like,
the world.
Boy problems.
Right.
Yeah.
But I also think like media has changed so much over the years. Like I tried to think of like the media that I would consume as a child, like Little Bear or Bear in the Big Blue House. Clearly, I just love bears, but they were all
bears.
We Bear Bears, which is a little older. But it was very. Those shows were meant to make you like sit and breathe and calm down and just kind of like you deal with one little problem at a time, and then you learn how to deal with that problem. And then the show is over. We sing goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a problem with that because it lets your brain kind of rationalize different things, whereas like a lot of media today is like the music is loud, the art is loud, the colors are crazy, you're getting a headache. That's how I feel about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And
oh, it's crazy.
I remember the first time, small sidetrack, I remember the first time I saw JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I was squinting like this. I was like, oh my god, like Sam's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm being attacked visually. It's great because it's supposed to do that. Like, that's his goal, is to bombard you with color and line and like style. But god,
Jotaro Kujo.
Hold on, going back. So I think that Miyazaki's movies, I think that probably him as a person, and I've seen some of his interviews, he speaks slow, he's calm, he's methodical. His movies are definitely a reflection of who he is as a person. I'm sure that when he story tells, like, we're in a bar, we're having a little cup of sake, I'm sure he'd be like, no, I woke up, give me this whole day. And then he'd be like, and then this guy tried to mug me in the street, and I didn't really know how to do that. And I was like, I feel like that's how he would tell me a story regardless. Yeah. So I feel like it's been nice to just, like, sit and listen to him, especially, like, encompassing all his movies. I'm like, this man's got a lot to say.
Yeah, but when it's a personal movie, like when Rises or like even Boy and the Heron, like I feel like it is like very well paid, like stuff's happening at different times of the movie.
Rises makes you want to cry 5 minutes in to the end.
But yeah, I think this movie is really well paced. I think the even like the it starts out with something very tragic, with like the obviously the time period around World War I, World War II is like a very important time frame for Miyazaki. He brings it up a lot. He uses it in a lot of his movies.
We shouldn't forget.
Yeah, we should not. And so, starting out with the fire and then having like the whole, like not seance. What's the word I'm thinking for? Like vision of his mother in the flame, and then kind of like, you know, going through, and like that bird shows up early, and is a recurring. the heron is a recurring thing that keeps happening to him, and it's like at first it's just Mahito's response to the bird, and then it's like, okay, now I have to actually follow this bird, and then it's like, okay, now I have to figure out how to find Natsuko, and then
the movie
I figure out how to get out of here.
I've heard people say, obviously the movie is you know, Mahito's arc is like him learning to be selfless and not just make everything about himself. Yes, he's sad, but Natsuko's sad that you won't connect with her. That's the whole scene in the delivery room where she's like, I hate you, until he says, Mom. But going back to what Kayla said earlier in the episode, when he goes on the adventure with the heron, that's him literally and physically walking with his grief. Not moving past it, walking with it.
Yes. I think what I mean, like moving past it, is mostly just like not letting it stagnate you, is what I think I was meaning it to be.
Because I get that.
Because he's like, you know, obviously he doesn't speak to Natsuko for the first like maybe 15 minutes of the movie. Doesn't even like just barely says anything. Like even Natsuko trying to like get him to like touch her stomach, which, okay, side note, the dad, sneaky dog, because what are we talking about right here?
That sneaky dog, freaky
that
frog,
me off, low key.
Demon time.
That pissed me off, low key.
I feel like, again, it's
that's also of the time period.
Yes,
and like that's what would happen a lot.
What we were talking about with
sibling.
like My Neighbor Totoro, where the dad is taking a bath with the two girls. For that time period in Japan, that was normal, and us as Americans, we're not used to something like that, and I think this is the same thing. It's just around that time. It's like, well, I'm just, your sister died, what are you up to?
But it just it's bad. I mean, I get it.
We don't get that, but that's actually a pretty common thing. I mean, they even do that in the Bible. Like, that was very, like, if you became a widow, or what's the male version of
widower?
Widower. You would end up, if there was a family member that was single, you would end up, like, taking them, basically, because it was more to, like, keep everything in the family. We're not trying to expand. It is what it is. So Mahito will have a brother cousin, you know,
because it's not even played off as
it's not.
Natsuko doesn't want to be there. She very much is happy.
Because you know,
which is also that part was hard for me to rationalize. Like, it makes sense that, like, okay, like, I'm adopting this child now, this man's coming into my life, but as much as she was like in love with that man, I was like, oh, that gives me like, that churns my stomach a little bit, because your sister is just buried.
Freshly in the ground.
Fresh.
Out of the
morgue! It's a little too weird, but again, I'm not from that time period. I am not of that train of thought, so like that's just a thing. But I'm like, I don't know, if I had a sister and I died and then my husband had to marry my sister, I'd hope she'd be like, get away from me. Get away.
Yeah, and it's just weird, because then it's like, because Mahito's never, basically they kind of introduced it to where like Mahito's never seen her before.
Never met her.
Until that moment.
Or
so
if
then
he
you're
did,
like,
it was
what
like
is
they were infants.
Yeah, so then it's like, what was your father out here doing, bro? what
Business trips.
Yeah.
Have you seen that TikTok of that guy that's like, motherfucker, go to Japan once? And he comes back and he goes, did you know Japanese don't like work? Well, not like Americans. They have a concept called, and it just cuts him going,
I hated the tone that
that's
you had.
basically like what we're like, where he's explaining shit to us.
Where he
it's like him going, much more nicer than us Americans, huh?
Oh my god. But Where was I going with that? Oh, okay, yeah. So like him, what I meant by like moving past the grief is mostly just like him not letting it stagnate him, because then obviously he doesn't talk to Natsuko for the first maybe 15 minutes of the film, and just refers to her as ma'am very early
right
on.
Yeah.
Then you have a situation where like he basically injures himself, so he won't go to school. He doesn't go to school anymore, and so like, and his dad is like, "Oh, you're gonna pull up in a car. You're gonna be the most, everybody's gonna be jealous of you at school." And like, he gets to a fight first day of school, and like, you can tell that he just doesn't want to continue living this way if his mom is not in the picture with him. And so like, in order to avoid school or avoid any kind of like, saying doing anything, he just injures himself, like hitting himself with a rock. And so him going into the tower and then like walking with the Heron is like him moving past that and be like, okay, I'm gonna tackle this thing on my own and then figure it out.
Which is also such like that scene of him like deciding to pick up a rock and hit himself upside the head with it. That takes so much. Like that child does not know how to rationalize, and he's going through it. And like, it's kind of one of those things where like, when someone wants to harm themselves to escape pain, you typically pick something that like you like fall down the stairs, right? So it's like, oh, it's not me making that choice. It's kind of like the difference between like shooting somebody and stabbing somebody. Stabbing is much more personal, and shooting is you can distance yourself from it. Him choosing to hit himself with the rock is very like, I'm in pain. I don't know how to rationalize that pain. I'm gonna give myself physical pain because then that will make sense. And I don't want to have to deal with all these other factors like going to school and dealing with people.
Yeah, and the dad. I just don't like the dad. I think I've come to the conclusion that the dad's a piece of shit. I don't like him at all, especially because when he tries to like threaten the school, or then like pays, like basically throws 300 yen at the school.
Rich
and
white
like,
dad.
I think everything's coming from like a good place. He just doesn't know how to be a dad. That
too. Mm-hmm. He knows how to be a businessman
because he still loves
his child,
Mahito.
Yeah.
And I do see that it is a love. It's not just, what's that fucking movie with Denzel Washington? Fences.
Yeah, Fences.
Where it's like, I'm your dad. I don't do this because I love you. I do it because I have to. No, I feel like it is more of a love. It's just what is that fucking thing on TikTok? It's his first time living too.
The thing that I say.
No, it's become a meme on TikTok.
It's his first time living too. Oh my god!
I remember I told that to my mom once when we got into a fight. I told that to Andre, and Andre's like, "I would have been mad at you too." It's a very real thing.
It is. It makes sense. It's not that you're wrong. It's just that I'm annoying. Angry, and you're trying to make me feel better. That would make me more angry.
Right. Well, that's how I fight, unfortunately. My mom, after she was like, "Oh, are you?" And she got so mad at me. I'm like, Mom, it's okay. Like, I get it. We fight. She's like, just tell me how you feel. Love you, Mom. If you listen to this.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I think it's a lot of some parents that don't know how to show love to their kids. So they're like, oh, this is what I would want. This is what I feel would be best. So, and I'm assuming because this is all after the wars, economy-wise, the fact that Mahito's family is doing well means that man has been putting in the work. So he is trying to be like, I'm putting you in the best school, and I'm gonna drive you there, and I'm gonna give this all to you because this has to be what makes you happy. It'd be what make me happy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So he was trying. It's just not the way that we would like.
And then go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know what Mahito's father does?
I don't remember.
He builds planes.
He's an air munitions like factory owner.
Ah.
Which is like this whole double thing where it's like Mahito lost his mother to war, but his dad is contributing to it. Like, what's going on here?
We're back in the same. I love to build planes being used for war, destruction, but creation. He dances a lot with that.
Miyazaki anti-war strikes again.
Miyazaki just wakes up in the middle of the night and he's like, oh, I love creating bombs. And then he just wakes up, eyes wide open.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the dad, he's probably, again, like the dad, Mahito, Natsuko, are all grieving the loss of the mom in different ways. Like the dad's just kind of like, he moves on to the sister, which culturally, whatever. But he buries himself in work. Yeah. And then like obviously tries to use that kind of authority in terms of like trying to make Mahito happy in a more materialistic way. Yeah. Natsuko's trying to like not atone. That's the wrong word. She's trying to like carry on what her older sister did by taking care of Mahito. Yeah. But obviously like in the way in which she's going about it, you know what I'm saying? She's trying her best. And eventually like lashes out on her own saying like, oh, I hate you. Why are you doing like and is upset that she's been trying to give all this effort and Mahito just won't accept her as his mother, which I'm gonna be honest, just be honest real quick. Mahito's what? He's like supposed to be 10, 11 years old?
I don't even know.
In this movie?
I don't know why I always feel like all the kids are 7 years old. He does feel a little older though. He's probably like 11, I feel.
Because I'm like,
that makes sense.
Because I'm like, if I'm past the age of like,
I'm checking.
Yeah, I'm saying like past the age of like the moment you can like rationalize who your mom and dad are, I feel like you're not obligated to call that person mom.
He's 11.
He's 11. Like, oh, I binked it.
You binked. Yeah.
But you see what I mean though? Like, I don't think Mahito, like, if he was like 3-4 years old,
it'd be different.
But I think like if I'm 11 years old, like I can rationalize who my mom is.
Yeah, but
I don't have to call you mom. I mean, like, in a given situation, like, if I love somebody enough in that situation, I probably would end up calling them mom just out of familiarity. But I just think that my Natsuko getting that, like, having that visceral reaction that he won't call her mom is kind of a little insane to me. Yeah.
But it's just that he's doing it out of spite, and everyone knows he's doing it out of spite.
Yeah.
It's not. Right. He's not even saying like.
That's the grief talking, man.
He's still hurt, so he wants to continue hurting people.
It's not like he's trying to give her like a nickname, like a fucking whatever, anything, other than calling her ma'am. Or at one point, he still says my aunt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's really to like cut deep into her.
Yeah. Or calling her by her first name. He doesn't call her mom. He calls her Natsuko for like a good 3/4 of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of to cut deep into her because, like Kayla says, he's upset.
Yeah.
And he can't really pinpoint why he's upset, and he can't really understand.
Yeah.
Like, my dad makes planes. I'm gonna be upset at him, but he's my only family left, so I'm gonna be upset at this person who's trying to take over my mom.
Who's taking me away from my home and da-da-da and all this stuff.
Like my mom died in a fire, my dad's barely home because of work, and then also my dad took on a new wife that just so happens to be my mom's sister.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I'd be pissed.
As an adult, I would be having like, I can't rationalize, this is too many things are on the plate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lash out 100%. I'm gonna lash out or crash out. Those are one of the two options.
They are a rich family, but he decides to eat with the help.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he wants to make a connection with them because they didn't steal his mom.
Correct.
So that's like the whole thing. That's why Natsuko's so upset.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's another section. There's another thing I want to talk about that's not Boy and the Heron related that Kayla wanted to bring up. So I'll leave this last little topic for this movie in terms of like, I know we haven't done the ranking of every movie yet, but I know Zoe said that this has definitely moved into his top 3 in terms of Miyazaki movies. Kayla, where does this one sit?
This is my 4th
for you right now. Your 4th?
Yeah. It's my top 5 for sure.
Which I can I respect.
I can respect.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I might have to watch it again just to kind of like
and I
figure
think
out my
that's
place
fair.
for that.
I think that's fair. I remember the first time
because y'all seen it twice. This is my first time seeing it.
Yeah. I think that you have to watch this movie 2, perhaps even 3 times to like really like settle with it. I remember the first time I saw Princess Mononoke, I was like, I'm terrified of that deer. I'm not watching this again. And then I watched it again when I got older, and I was like, this is art. This is cinema. And I was like crying. I cried the first time too, but also I was like a little bit like afraid. This time, the second time, I was like, souls and our connection to the universe. Like it's you know. And now it's a you know, I watch it a lot. But yeah, I think this one isn't like Ponyo where you can watch it once and be like, all right,
yeah, I got it,
everything's good, I got it. This one you're gonna have to watch like a couple times and be like, am I dealing with any current grief in my life?
Oh yeah, and honestly, at the risk of, you know, as a means to avoid any of us crying on this podcast, I did not want to talk about our personal grief in regards to this movie. So I was like, I'm just gonna be as vague as possible.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it just happened. So I was like, when I was literally in like the production mode for this podcast, I was like, okay, it deals with loss and grief, but we're not going to talk about, we're not going to bring up personal anecdotes. We're not going to do that at all at the risk of any of us crying on this podcast.
We've done it before. No, but that is why, like in the beginning, when Andre mentioned that, you mentioned like the fading of like some of these memories, which is why like a lot of people like Miyazaki choose to walk with their grief, because as you get older, you naturally just start to forget. Like new memories are coming in and old memories kind of leave. And, you know, we've all lost family here, but my family recently just went on a vacation, just the 4 of us. And we haven't done that in a very, very long time. We haven't done that since my grandfather died, and my mom's dad. And we were talking about it on this vacation, how it's been over 10 years. And my brother and I are like, it feels like yesterday. But when we were like sitting and talking about it, I'm like, there are only very specific things that I remember, because I'm just older now and time has passed, and I have to like think about those things. I have to remember so that I don't forget. And this movie is a lot about that. It's like, keep the bird around. Yeah. Don't lose sight of it.
Well,
because you don't want to let that go completely.
Yeah. At the end of the movie, it's a very lore heavy thing where whenever someone leaves this place, they forget. They forget what happened. But Mahito, not only keeps back the block. Kirito or Kiriko, he keeps one of the blocks that doesn't have malice infused in it.
Right.
And the Heron is telling him like, you'll probably want to forget, like everyone does. And then he sees like, oh wow, that must be a really powerful artifact. You should probably forget about it. But he doesn't. He keeps it.
Yep.
So yeah, just it's a good way to end it off. All right, Kayla, let's talk about Apothecary Diaries for like maybe 5-6 minutes.
Apothecary Diaries fans, rise from the herbs. Oh my god. Okay, guys, I've been on a kick again. I've been trying to finish off anime in my list that I've had forever, and I'm sorry for yelling in the listeners' ears, but I just finished Apothecary Diaries. And Taylor and I talk about this specifically all the time, of how much I love Momo and Jinshi, but the mangaka doesn't like Jinshi at all. In fact, she hates him. What happened?
Apparently. And I wanted to, because on air, I wanted to talk about this because there's a TikTok beef between creators right now, Apothecary Diaries creators, because the girl, that TikTok that I watched where she was like, oh, the manga hates Jinshi, apparently that was fake. Or she might have just like lied or made that part up.
It still feels like she hates him, because what are you doing? So I highly recommend the show for those of you who haven't seen it. And Emily, if you're listening. It's such a good show because the majority of it is mystery and lots of thinking and lots of like putting clues together about this very hierarchical society happening in the back of the palace with slaves and concubines and eunuchs and all this stuff. Very political. But the romance of it, I swear to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I'm seeing you later today. Stop. Anyway. It's so good, but the romance aspect is some of the most annoying but best romance I've seen in a while, because it's not very typical in anime where the man is like head over heels goo goo gaga and the girl is just like doesn't care. Mao Mao doesn't care. In fact, Mao Mao is so closed off from the world that incoming quick spoiler, but Jinchi could not make it more clear that he likes her. Because, you know, he went to another country to save her and brought like a war among those people. But at the end, he's trying to tell her like, I like you. And then he bites her on the shoulder neck area. And he's like, do you get what I'm trying to say now? Because he whispers it in her ear. And she's like, oh, his stitches look good. And I was like, girl, lock in. Lock into this pretty man who's doing it all for you. And then he says this line where he's like, are you filled with poison too? And I actually screamed in my house.
So, I think the detective and Sherlock Holmesy aspect of the show is something that will draw you in, because Mao Mao is a great female character. I love her. I think she's a great character in general.
I like romance.
Yeah.
You're gonna think Jinchi and Howl are the same character.
Oh no.
Kayla.
Oh, God.
Kayla.
A little bit.
Kayla.
A little bit,
you
because...
love them both.
Yeah. Yes, he is Howl-esque.
Gotta hate Howl.
That's what I'm saying.
But everyone else is so cool. I feel like Andre really liked the character who's in love with one of the concubines from Mao Mao's prostitution house.
Yes. I can't remember his name, but he's so funny.
Andre, you and him are the same man.
Hell yeah.
He's like, what do you need? What do you need? I'm here for you. I want to take you away from this place. And she's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my bag first, but you pick me up in a few years.
That's cute.
I'll say, as far as like, yeah, it's definitely, you know, it goes in that Sherlock Holmesy type of thing, and Mao Mao is a really good like detective, and it's a cool like the theme around like not the Meiji era, but like a very specific feudal era in China. Yeah. And like the political aspects of everything is pretty cool.
It's really cool. I will say, like,
as
just
far as
the medicine is sound. Like,
yes.
It's like, oh wow, this is how it used to be.
Yeah, and then
I'm thinking of Kayla's explanation.
Yeah.
Of this fucker. What's his name? Jinchi.
Mm-hmm.
What does he say? Outwardly, he likes her, or does he just bite her in the fucking shoulder like a fucking creep?
No, they
okay.
know
So
because
here's where I'm already getting. And you know what?
Because he punched his camera. Taylor, back me up here. He's tried many times to tell her that he likes her. Taylor, help me. Taylor, help. Taylor, you have to be with me on this. We are a united front. Because
I'm just crying and punching his fucking camera. Okay, so
help.
In defense of Kayla, as Kayla's lawyer on this,
thank you.
I'll say that like he does very much like, it's not like he's kind of beating around the bush in terms of like his affection for her. he literally like it makes it very clear. Yes. He doesn't like outwardly like verbatim say I'm in love with you, but like it could not be more clear
Yeah.
At
He's
all.
also,
Like, there's
trying to speak her language because she doesn't understand those feelings. And she has told him that. She told him, like, I don't understand love. I don't want to give you her whole backstory.
She grew up in a brothel. So she doesn't understand like what love is because all she's seen around her is just lust.
Exactly.
And so she doesn't really have those romantic feelings for anybody in general.
Anora.
Yes.
Yeah. But like Jinshi, there's one part where like Malmo has to make money, so she becomes like a courtesan where she like kind of just like serves food and stuff, and you're not allowed to touch them. But Jinshi literally like like puts his finger on her lips, gets her makeup off of her lips, and then puts it to his. Like, come on now, like you can't.
But this is so. What that sounds like to me. That's not Hal. I think Hal is very much also, more a character.
I'll shut up.
I think this just sounds like a fucking Chinese gotcha character that's just made to be like, you want this guy, don't you?
Oh, he's scientifically made to be like.
That's what I mean, and I hate that.
Yeah. He's also a well-written character, though.
He's a well-written character, and the thing
because of his backstory.
Yes, exactly.
He's not just there to be like he isn't just there to be like the eye candy that's in love with the main character.
And he hates that he's pretty. Whereas Howl is very much like, I am gorgeous, and all I have is my
pisses me off
Gorgina.
more.
Well,
no,
it makes sense from a lore perspective because it's like because of his position in the royalty royal hierarchy.
I will check. I'm being annoying on purpose. I will check this out.
My blood pressure.
Yeah, there are some moments though where like even
out of context, that sounds terrible. I hate that I'm pretty.
It does
because he doesn't feel like he's like a man. Like people don't respect how smart he is because he's pretty, which is so nice to see from the male perspective.
Yeah,
because that's typically the girl's story.
That's done many times for females.
Exactly.
Like Jinshi plays such a big role in that like political scheme.
But he's just a pretty face.
But like nobody really takes him seriously because of how he looks.
Exactly.
And so like that's why he tends to act childish on purpose because he's just like, I don't know what else to do.
I will check. I'm just clip farming. I will check it
out. At what cost?
At what cost though? Okay. Y'all got anything else? Either Apothecary Diaries or Boy and the Heron related? No.
Boy and the Heron's really good, and I can't wait to yell at Kayla when we do our ranking. Also,
we're gonna yell.
I feel like on a Sunday night we watch Grave of the Fireflies and then immediately record.
It's gonna be in theaters August 16th and 17th.
Oh, you want to watch it in theaters and talk about it?
I don't want it to be big.
That'd be nice.
Get the
big tears. IMAX.
Oh, so
IMAX tears, baby.
So the nuke can feel that big.
Oh my god.
So you can feel the hurt.
I can feel the hurt.
Feel the hurt.
Feel the nuke in IMAX.
That's what I mean.
just shaking the chair.
Could you imagine? It's like 4X. It's like that 4X experience where you're just doing
this.
That'd be insane.
Crazy
It'd be
town.
Insane. Yeah, so do you Nazca is going to be one that might be a bonus episode, maybe? Just in case we want to come back to the Miyazaki Magic series. But I guess next episode is going to be our ranking for every Miyazaki movie we've seen so far, and that's going to be really funny. We're all going to yell at each other.
I have a question. Are we going to rank it just kind of like how we ranked the girls, where it's like different tiers? Or are we pitting two movies against each other and breaking it down to the best movie?
A bracket.
Bracket?
Yeah, for fighting for you.
Bracket's fun.
Bracket is fun.
Bracket fight.
And since I'm the producer, I'll be the swaying vote. You two could just hash it out.
Sure.
It's more fun that way.
Okay. I feel like I don't know which one we're gonna land on, to be fair, because depending on what randomized version we get, we could end up pitting two of our biggest loves together.
I will slide you $5 to pit Howl's Moving Castle, like very badly seated, like so that they has no chance.
Put Howl's Moving Castle against Ponyo.
No, it has to be against Point the Heron or something.
No,
that would be hard because there's 10 teams. Well, I think one team might have to get a bye or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll do a bracket for it for sure.
Yeah.
The movies are getting by. Biden's America.
Oh my god. And then, what I'll do is you guys come with your arguments. I'll give you the brackets beforehand. Come with your arguments. You know what I'm saying? Clear, like, you know, we're treated like it's Phoenix Wright. Come in with your arguments and and state your case for every movie.
I will be yelling objection then.
Okay.
That's gonna be funny. All right. Well,
I'm gonna make a shirt with a bird. It's like, I'm not taking your crap.
That's funny.
Thank you.
That's been everything for us. I've been Taylor, aka Nostalgia. As told by Zoe, Kelly's everything. See you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.